Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.
I love you.
Ding dong, they just think they are. Never know wanna be gangster trying to play hard.
Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.
I love you.
Ding dong, they just think they are. Never little wanna be gangster trying to play hard.
Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.
I love you.
Ding dong, they just think they are. Never know wanna be gangster, trying to play hard. Aye, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong.
Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.
I love you.
Ding dong, they just think they are. Another little one of these guys been trying to play hard. Aye, ding dong, dong, ding dong, dong, ding dong, dong, ding dong, ding dong.
Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, All players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.
Fight right here, everyone. I can see some of the players from Straw Hats of Pirate trying to gank on, or pretty much gang up on Z Lady Ann right here, and Z Lady Ann is just running around in this particular map, but Kohaku Inu is gone and out. Same as for Yana FS, and so was the rest of the Straw Hat crew. So they are down to their last 2 players. So what's gonna happen now? We have 4 kill count coming in, a 5 kill count coming in for the Wakaboos, and they're not losing any of the team members right here. Infinity, this is insane. So what's gonna happen now? We are down to the last player, and that is Kohaku Inu, and he is very, very low on health. He's being toyed at, and battle mode 2 being committed by the Blader. And we have here some action going on. They're trying to focus on Yana, but I think they're not going to be successful in doing so. Trying to pinpoint Z Lady Ann, take her out of the equation, but I don't think so. Kohaku Inu, hit for him because he's gonna go out in a blaze of glory, but still he was able to sustain himself with Zahane. Also, lower. We still have 2 more players remaining for the side of the Straw Hats Pirate. 1 more player remaining, Kohaku Inu, trying to survive. Coming in from 277. And the match is about to start right now, and there you go. Fury Shout and pretty much the buff. They just Warner and pretty much raided now. 4 of all of the teams of 7. What happened right there? Good lord.
That is what I call complete obliteration. The Legends did it once more.
Team Mayhem, despite having no force shielder at all, they were still able to get the first blood and the first kill. And now the members of
Invade, but you have G Crush coming through with that chase. Ryu goes down. It's the second kill count, but Nipa will be the next target. Ainora getting force pick from the backside, coming in for the force blader, will be the main target as Ainora now facing the wrath of G Crush. Going to be too easy for me, but I see dead people. A huge amount of single DPS is going to take place for the side of Mayhem. Nipa 3 time for this team, but 3 minutes left into this matchup, and another one falls. It's a 4 kill count for Mayhem.
That's going to be Nora leaving the battlefield. We are now down to our last 3 players. We just need 2 more kills for the side of Mayhem in order for them to win the first round. But of course, we have here Too Easy For Me going 1-on-1 with G Crush, but he's now being Mayhem. But I don't know if he will be able to take one of them with him. But there you go, the damage is too overwhelming, and that Irie Denki, they're now trying to go to the corner and pretty much force Team Mayhem out of that. The Force Archer just got taken down, and that's gonna be the revive, the respawn coming in from Team Mayhem. What's gonna happen now? IC Plays is low on health. The Force Archer is again about to go out in the blaze of glory. Right, IC Plays is low on health right here. No name. However, this is just moving around. He's really good when it comes to providing support in his in his party right here. And there you go. That to provide support as well in terms of tanking so much damage from Team Mayhem. But the kill count is now going on to 3. We are down to our last 4 kills per team.
Out this game too to have the possibility of bringing down the likes of Nipa Tree already down low on 1 HP. Back to full HP though, coming in from Ainora, and that will definitely be going in for the slash and that. However, it's Agri Denki later should be the target here. One of the highest damage that can be done in a class. Too easy for me. What's the target here? Stacked on top of each other. Icy Plays goes down. That will be the 6th kill coming in from Agri Denki and G Crush.
We have here Angel Shielder taking the lead, charging down the side of Mayhem. Right here, Ainora with that heal. As you can see, everyone's life is replenished for the side of Irie Denki. Nonim, however, is about to go down, and that's it. He count for the side of Irie Denki. Ainora is also about to go down. That's one Force Archer, and of course Rahayu is turning of the tables that we are talking about. Infinity. I can't wait to see the outcome. Rahayu is still out, but too easy for me. Ainora is still in the battlefield. Angel Shielder is receiving no damage. Ainora is getting a while ago. Is the game ended up, in a stalemate of some sort, but this time around, there's gonna happen next. Too easy for me is now being targeted by pretty much everyone. They are ignoring Angel Shielder. Just
their Force Archer up. They have their Wizard, they have their Blader, and even their Dark Mage. And what bought time here for Irie Denki? Time dashing and fading away as Icy Plays tries to catch up with G Crush going onto the sidelines as well. It's pretty much a time deficit already. It's all about playing on time here for Irie Denki. Too easy for me. So
their respect as well, and anytime soon they will be assaulting in full blast against this tank right here. That is. Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your caster again for tonight's showdown. It's gonna be Antoine with my guy and here, and welcome to day 3 of the live stream of the Infinity War of the Celestial Sea, the Infinite Battle. And of course, tonight we're gonna witness the quarterfinals happening in the Cygnus server. And of course, we just witnessed them going at it non-stop in the past 2 days that we've been casting the game, and we've seen lots of notable names so far, and lots of gameplays and strategies being unleashed in those 2 days that we went live. So what can you say about the game so far, Infinity?
On top of what you mentioned, we had so much fast games. We had so much big, impactful, and a bit chaotic gameplays as well all throughout the past few days. And I'm really, really excited because right now it's best foot forward across these 8 teams that remain here in Cygnus server for the Infinite War of Celestial Sea, considering we are already in the quarterfinals. So overall, I'm really hyped here, and I'm really exhilarated to come through into the first matchup.
Yes, exactly. And I am really, really hyped and stoked once again to see these teams go at it, because especially now we know some of them, and we've seen them perform in the first 2 days of our live stream. So we have lots of fast games, and of course I think that was a day before yesterday. I think it was our first match wherein we had 3 games. We were able to witness 3 games in that particular round. But then again, they have to adjust their strategies, because I'm pretty sure everyone is watching their steps, and they want to formulate a new strategy in order for them to at least get the heads, get ahead with each other in this tournament right here.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's really just these players proving themselves to be the strongest in Cygnus server, not just in skills, not just in gameplay, but also their characters, their equipments to be the very best amongst the rest. But as we have mentioned a while ago, we're already in the quarterfinals. It's 8 teams that remain out of 30 teams that participated. It will be Don't Kill Me, No Better Please, H2K and Ulti Plays, Wakaboo and Mayhem, and not. And last but not least, it's VN Legends and Rules Breaker.
And since you've mentioned the teams, Infinity, I just want to actually notice Ulti Plays and Rules Breaker because we didn't actually witness them, perform, or we didn't actually see them in action. So I think they still have their trump cards in terms of the elements of surprise in regards to their lineups moving forward. Because I'm pretty sure they're watching every single matchup that happened in the first 2 days of our live stream, and I do want to know, and I'm curious, how is this going to put them in advantage?
Yeah, Rules Breaker, Don't Kill Me. Very mysterious team so far here, Infinite War, Celestial Sea. These two are kind of like these trump cards being brought out in this tournament here today. Who are these people? What is their characters, or what are the compositions of these teams as well into consideration? But we really have to take note as well that these teams that they're fighting up against are not just about anyone. These are really, really strong hitters. No Bitter Please has been there, one of the fastest series that we've seen so far in day number 1 of the live stream on Monday this week. It was No Bitter Please that finished their series in under 2 minutes, 3 minutes for the whole 2 games. And for VN Legends, it was also very quick and very swift for them to be able to beat down their opponent's 777. So it's really a lot at stakes on the line here for Don't Kill Me and even Rules Breaker to really rise to the occasion.
Yep, they really have to pick up the slack here because we have lots of fights happening tonight. And speaking of fights, we're gonna head on straight to our first game this evening, and it's gonna be No Bitter Please going up against Don't Kill Me Please. Oh my lord, I am really, really hyped. And let's take a look at their lineups right here. So for No Bitter Please, we have Force Archer for the heals, Force Gunner again for the damage, Force Blader for the debuff, and of course that Shadow Shield coming in from the Force Shielder. And once again, we have a Dark Mage in the mix right here, Infinity. As I've researched these past few days, Dark Mage is also capable of inflicting damage, summoning a totem that can inflict damage over time. And of course, this particular character can also petrify an enemy and turn them into stone while rendering them helpless in the battlefield.
Yeah, it's all about those crowd controls that has that innate ability for the Dark Mages to really give that impact. And that is also one of the reasons why in the past few days we were talking about these compositions, we were talking about these classes, and in terms of a comparison, if you want to compare it into a similar class, it would be like the Force Blader of the magic types, if you may, that can really deal those significant crowd controls that may impact the tides in their favor as well. So that's one of the things that we could take note potentially for No Bitter Please on how they're able to utilize coming down into this game, coming down into this matchup here today up against Don't Kill Me, which is a very mysterious team so far. But also one thing to take note, that they don't really have that Force Shielder for that defensive capability. And we all know the damage coming in from Azalea as the Force Archer coming in from No Bitter Please. That is really one of the strongest, if not the strongest character so far.
And of course, I've noticed that they have a warrior as well in the mix in terms of Don't Kill Me. So again, warrior is a very well balanced character in terms of damage and buff as well. Warrior can actually do Panic Cry to debuff the enemies, and of course, for the Sword Party buff, we have the Morale Shout and the Fury Shout that will pretty much increase the attack and the HP of the party. And I don't know, it's gonna be really difficult to tell how are they going to win this one without the Shadow Shield. And just like what you pointed out a while ago, they have to go against No Bitter Please, which has Azalea in the mix. That is really, really, that's the only Force Archer that I've seen in this tournament so far who went in front of everyone and just went crazy and took down everyone in the process.
Yeah, it's all about that confidence coming from Azalea. He knows that he can actually tank off these damage coming in from his opponents. So this time around, as we have mentioned a while ago, that their opponents currently is a bit of that mysterious aspect to it as well in this series. Can No Bitter Please just shut down their opponents once more in a very quick, easy way, just like they did back in Monday and a few days ago, wherein they finished so fast thus far. So we'll see if they can replicate that here today.
Okay, so we're gonna start our game now. As you can see, here are here are our players. We have here Ziazalea. Ziazalea's camera is still loading, so I'm really looking forward to seeing this guy right here. Or yeah, I think it's either a boy or a girl because there are two person using the account. So we have here Lord Hate, Mr. Rom, Pizza Box, and Black Waffles for the side of No Bitter Please.
You have don't notes. You have Eureka. You have Cronoa. You have Ichuya, and you have Fate.
Hmm. So that's for the side of Don't Kill Me, Please. And I think we're about to witness the showdown between No Bitter Please and Don't Kill Me. So which one is it? Who do you think will drop first blood? Who do you think will win the first round? Comment down in the comment section. Make sure that you share our live stream to your friends, to your family members. Invite them to watch this live because in every milestone that we're going to have, we will be distributing codes that will give you guys in-game rewards.
Yeah, it's a lot in store coming for the viewers watching at home and the people, the brands that made this all possible. Thank you very much to VIU and to Fantech
Yeah.
for making Infinite War of Celestial Sea possible.
If you're looking for a gaming headset, if you're looking for some gaming chairs, computer equipments or paraphernalia that you might need, well, look no further because the Fantech is the place to go.
Yeah, for sure. And if you want streaming services, watch those entertainment content. Of course, we have VIU that will be giving away some subscription at the end of the tournament. So a lot to watch out for here in Infinite War of Celestial Sea. And on top of that, we also have another server battle going on down the road, which will be Pegasus, which will be really exciting as well to watch on who will take that server down. Or, well, at least be the champions of that server.
Yep. And I think they're still waiting for each other right here, or they're just trying to formulate or devise a plan on what to do, who to take down first. And of course, we've been talking about this nonstop since Monday and Tuesday. I think the best option for them is to take down Ziazalea, but how are they going to do it if Ziazalea is capable of tanking so much damage? And this is gonna be the start of this chaotic battle right here. Lord Hate trying to tank everything right here. There you go. I can see lots of skills being propped right here. There's a battle mode 3 being committed right here as well. And there you go. Cronoa is receiving damage. Ichuya is also down to his half of health right here. Cronoa as well taking so much damage, and that's gonna be the first blood coming in from the side of No Bitter Please. Ichuya just went down. That's gonna be their first kill for the night. Courtesy of No Bitter Please. And now they're trying to go after Ziazalea, but Ziazalea is just standing right there, not giving any care at all. Just tanking the damage, pretty much dealing damage as well to the opponent. Eureka is dealing so much damage right here. He's running for dear life, but Eureka just teleported out, but got taken out in the process, and that's gonna be it. I think we are down to our last kill for the side of No Bitter Please in order for them to win the first game.
Yeah, and just those arrows hurt coming from Ziazalea. Those earth lances, fire lances across the board, just one-shots their opponents. It's very quick. Not as quick as we've seen back in Monday, but overall, the strength of having these a set of players coming in from the opponent's side is just too much to handle for Don't Kill Me. And on top of that, really the Force Shielder as well, those Shadow Shield really negates a lot of these damage coming from opponents in comparison to Don't Kill Me, which, you know what, they were able to stand up against the likes of their opponents for quite some time. They were able to stand up against No Bitter Please for a little bit. But at the end, it was really unfortunate because there's just no way that they could tank it at the very end.
Okay, so we're gonna look at our highlights right here, everyone. Let's take a look at what happened in our first game. So as you can see, everyone, they really tried to focus more on Ziazalea, but Ziazalea is, again, a very tanky archer, and she won't really care about the damage coming in because she can easily proc those skills, massive heal or healing ability, because he's or she is a 4 size archer. But there you go. That was a swift and quick. As as much as I want to give credit to Don't Kill Me, they tried their best but ended up being decimated in our first round right here.
Yeah, for sure. And we still have a couple of more rounds. Well, technically, we still have one more for match point. If ever No Better Please just wipes out their opponents here in the following game, they will be able to take that win, take that dub, proceed into the semifinals. But we still have a couple of chances here for Don't Kill Me since it's a best of three. So there is still more chances for them to make it back to the pedestal. But for now, game two on the horizon. A lot more difficulty for Don't Kill Me to really overcome here up against the likes of No Better Please.
I mean, don't kill me is really trying their best, but no bitter please. With Azalea in the equation, they're having a hard time, taking down this monstrosity that is this Force Archer. They might really think that the Azalea is a very nimble character because that character is a Force Archer. But then again, that's why their shielder exists for that same reason. The Shadow Shield will provide more protection to the Azalea, and of course, since the character is not really dwelling so much on HP, then upon using any healing abilities or massive heals, then poof, the Azalea's HP will be back in full health.
Yeah, and there's just a lot of there's just a lot of perspectives that you can look at as a way of survival for No Better Please, right? They have the Force Shielder with the Shadow Shield. That's one that we keep on reiterating time and time again. You have the heals for that HP to come back up quite easily that fast. So really there's just a lot of perspective. So if their opponent wants to bring down and burst down the Azalea, they have to consider the Shadow Shield along with the heals. But on top of that, you also have an innate ability coming in from the Force Archer to evade these attacks as well. So really just a lot of layers, a lot of difficulties. Now, if they pivot themselves into targeting the likes of the Force Gunner or even the Force Blader, they have that threat of the heals once again for that sustain. So really just a lot of difficulties, a lot of threats for them to be able to win and overcome up against No Better Please.
But if they miraculously win this next round right here, Infinity, they can still force a game number 3. I mean, nothing's impossible. I really don't want to cross them out yet, but it's gonna be it's gonna be a tall order for Don't Kill Me Please to take down No Bitter Please. As you can see, you've just mentioned the factors that they really need to take a look at in order for them to at least get an advantage in this game right here, and they lack that particular defense strategy coming in from, not really strategy but defense possibility coming in from the class of Force Shielder. Even though they have a morale shout or coming in from the warrior, it's not as good as the Shadow Shield of the Force Shielder.
Yeah, so it's just a lot of things to look at coming in for these two teams. And then for No Better Please, we're really going to focus on this team as well, on how they could definitely win up against Don't Kill Me. It's kind of, or well, rather relatively easier of a time for them to be able to bring down Don't Kill Me, because they could do a target on the Force Archer, force out the innate ability for the Force Archer to evade his attacks, and then pivot themselves to going to the likes of the Wizard or the Force Gunner. A lot of options for them. The Force Blader will also be readily available for them if ever the Force Archer already uses that innate skill. So really it's all about, which target are you going to go for, who will be the key player to lock out, and last but not least, the coordination coming in from this team should also be spot on.
Yep. They have to completely change their composition. But then again, just to remind everyone, they're using their personal accounts. They're not using any, in-game accounts or any developer's account. They're using their own personal account in this tournament right here. So again, they're doing their best to pretty much showcase their ability, how to handle a character, and pretty much how to use them competitively in this tournament right here.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that speaks a lot of volume, right? Because the thing is like the strategy, the coordination, the chemistry, it's probably like 40% of the tournament of how these players play it out. But like 60% of it is how strong they are in the game, how they were able to build their characters in the game as well, how they well rather utilize their equipments, right? So these things also take into consideration, especially considering that the Infinite War of Celestial Seas capitalizes on the players' equipments, capitalizes on the players' characters that they have built for over the past few months. So really, really a good thing to look out for. Really, when doing these tournaments, when looking at M-War or of the likes, who is the top players of that, and you really have to look out for those players coming into the tournament.
Mm-hmm. And of course, again, it's going to be the same players right here. Same players, same characters, same lineup. So it's going to boil down to execution. So I'm not really sure what is Don't Kill Me planning to do in order for them to take down Ziazalea. But there you go. That's the buff coming in from the side of No Bitter Please, especially to Don't Kill Me Please. Morale Shout, Fury Shout has been committed as well. So we have here the first fight. Faye goes down first, and that's going to be the first kill count. Oh, that's a 2 coming in because Eureka GX just got taken out as well. So who's going to go out next? Chronoa is also down. That makes 3 coming in from the side of No Bitter Please. So what are they going to do? Because, they are down to the last 3 kills. And there you go. Another player, Notes, just went down. And that's a kill count 5 coming in from No Bitter Please. Is this going to be a swift game as well? We don't know yet. But looking at it, that's going to be the case because Eureka GX, and that's going to be it. That's going to be the game. And the winner of our first game for tonight is no other than No Bitter Please.
Yeah, what a fantastic showing then. They're wrapped their power here in series number 1 for the day in the quarterfinals, similar to what they did back in Monday in round 16. They have shown their power and their strength once more here in the quarterfinals. Just pure strength, just raw damage.
Speaking of strength and raw damage, you said a while ago that they have to consider their equipments. Yes, that's right, everyone, because they have to rely on their combat power as well in order for them to gain the advantage in this Infinite War of the Celestial Sea, the Infinite Battle. And without those high combat power, it's going to be really hard for you to take down an enemy whose combat power is far greater than yours. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So really, it's all about what No Bitter Please was able to do. Their coordination, as we have mentioned a while ago, the Force Archer, then going into the Wizard. These are very squishy targets for them to prioritize.
Okay, but we're going to look at the highlights right now, everyone. So let's see what happened in our second game. So as you can see, they really tried their very best right here, but it was a very quick and swift match coming in for both of these teams right here. So there you go, Praetor, Ziazalea dealing damage and of course taking down Chronoa and Notes in the process. There you go. Ooh, what a damage. As you can see, there are bodies being decimated, bodies falling down in this clash right here. And there you go. That's going to be the last member of the team. Don't Kill Me Please, and that's gonna be the win for No Bitter Please.
Yeah, and that's one series down for the count here today in the tournament. And as we have mentioned a while ago, as we had that sneak peek on the tournament for the day, it's already quarterfinals, so it's 4 series for today. So we have 3 more on the go coming down into the following minutes, following hours here tonight.
All right, so again, don't go anywhere because we still have 3 more games coming up. So this is your caster again, Anduin, together with Infinity. The Infinite War of Celestial Sea will be returning after a few breaks.
Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.
I love you.
Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Infinite War of Celestial Sea, the Infinite Battle. It's me again, Edwin, together with Infinity, to bring you non-stop shoutcasting action in the world of Neverett against these players who's aiming for the top and, of course, going at it with each other.
Yeah, it has been really amazing to watch how No Better Please was able to execute that really fast and really swift as well. It was strong for them to be able to do what they've done here in the past series. Now, coming up next here for match number 2, it will be Ulti Plays in H2K, and we saw them play in the first day of the live stream for Infinite War of Celestial Sea. Now, Ulti Plays in H2K, their match really took quite a bit of time in comparison to what No Better Please did, but of course these are some of the best teams in Cygnus servers, so expectations for them are still at a very high level.
Yep, and like what I said a while ago, I really am looking forward on how are they going to duke it out in Lakeside Arena, because it's all about strategy, team composition, what are the adjustments that they did, what are the things that they talked about right after they won, those matches in our first 2 days when we went live. So I am really pumped and excited because once again, we are going to see them in action in the Lakeside Arena. And of course, everyone, I would like to invite all of you to please come and like our stream right here. Make sure that you invite your family members, your friends, your families, your guildmates, your co-player or your players or teammates. Invite them to watch this live stream in order for us to reach our first milestone, so we can give out some codes to each and every one of you guys watching at home.
Yeah, for sure. So once we reach those milestones, we're gonna give away a lot of these codes for you guys. So a lot of expectations on the line as well, not just for these players, but also some expectations for the viewers watching at home. So stay tuned, because we still have a couple of games, couple of matches for you guys to watch and experience firsthand.
And here you go. As you can see, everyone, we have here Ulti Plays and, of course, Hard to Kill. And as you can see in their lineup right here, we have the 4 shielder in the side of Ulti Plays, first archer, first gunner, 1 dark mage, and 1 warrior. Well, I'm really trying my best to understand, because I don't see a player who can deal so much damage aside from the warrior and pretty much the dark mage totem, who's gonna be placed in the arena while dealing so much damage in the process, per second. But we have here a force shielder that provides a shadow shield, force archer that provides healing, and of course the morale shout coming in from the warrior that adds on that pretty much increases the HP of every party members.
Yeah, it is. So that is one of the perspectives here coming in for the composition. But we've seen these two players battle it out already. And in terms of those comps, it's pretty much like Ulti Plays having a force archer. Hard to Kill doesn't have that. But regardless, in terms of damage, I think it will suffice. However, it will be scary if they battle up against Ulti Plays in a prolonged type of setup. They will be at a massive disadvantage.
Yes, because they don't have that, healing capability coming in from the Force Archers. So how are they going to sustain pretty much every single player in, in their party? Aside from the fact that, a wizard can also heal, but not as good as a Force Archer. So let's see how will this end up, or how will this play out, because it's gonna be about execution once again, ladies and gentlemen, because we are going to witness how will they be able to pretty much control each other's strategy and execute every single character or classes that they've picked so far in this match right here. Just to give a heads up, we have here a blader coming in from the side of hard to kill that can pretty much proc field of fear that will cause the other side of the uh, players or the opponents to pretty much have low defense while under the effect of field of fear. Curse dodge in terms of debuff, I think that's not going to work for Blader, and fatality increase, increasing the critical strikes of this particular character, and of course the art of fierceness.
Yeah, for sure. So now I'm really excited. I'm stoked on what game one is going to be this time around, because these two teams are going to battle it out. And of course, this is already the quarterfinals. So this is quite a bit of the expectations from both these teams, and they really have to give their all. But Ulti Plays jumping into this year so far, they have Raphael, they have Luna, they have Desdido, you have Balayong, and they have Mabi.
And of course, for the side of H2K, we have B2E, Kisalenan Kinanen, Zephyrus, F2P Batang, and Variesto for the side of H2K.
So yeah, it's match, or rather series number 2 on the line here for both these teams. Match number 1. This will dictate how the game would flow for both sides. In terms of priority for the side of H2K, it's typically going to be either the Force Archer or the Dark Mage. These two will be the perspectives that they could target. And the reasons for that, they want to remove those heals, or they want to get that numbers advantage immediately.
Yep, definitely. And of course, on the side of H2K, they can definitely go after the mage or the wizard in this perspective, in order for them to stop them from at least dealing damage while healing as well. That's the only healing capability that's existing for H2K. So maybe that's something that they can consider moving forward. But of course, you can't really ignore the fact that they both have shielders right here, and of course the shadow shield will take it's a major role in this matchup right here. So I am really excited, I'm really hyped. If you guys are supporting any of the teams right here, so make sure that you comment your support in the comment section in order for them to do their best and pretty much feel your support while playing this game right here.
Yeah. And pretty much we're just waiting for the moment's time to be able to have the game started for both sides here. And I think really for Ulti Plays as well, in terms of that perspective, what they want to go for would be the likes of the Wizard, the Blader. These are some of the options, but now we start.
Okay, since we're gonna start, we have your Luna. Wow, taking the initiative, going in the front line. Raphael trying to look at the side of the H2K right here. Zephyrus dealing damage to Decidido, but Decidido Muhabal is taking so much damage, but Raphael in the process of being taken down. Decidido is also gonna go down on the side of Ulti Plays. Balayong right here is also going down. That's gonna be 2 kills coming in from the side of H2K. Decidido will be responding. What is he gonna do in order for them to make a difference? That's gonna be 3 kills under the name of H2K. So what are they gonna do? Decidido Muhabal is also down as well. Balayong is also down, and I think that's gonna be the game for H2K right here. Ulti Plays, what happened?
You know, what a strong powerhouse this team is. I mean, they really just landslide that game number 1 very quickly as well. Unexpected, if you may, coming into the very first game, considering as well that you have the Force Archer, the Force Shielder. But of course, you have to think about it on the other perspective as well. I mean, equipment aside, you also have to think about like coming through in terms of that power. It's just the glass cannon type of composition with that Force Shielder as well, just to provide that shadow shield. And I think it was just them being able to overrun their opponents that quickly.
Yep. I mean, I thought that there's gonna be a good thing happening for the side of Insta Plays or the other side, but because there's a character that actually launched himself forward, to go to the enemy's territory, taking the front line, but. Then again, that didn't happen. They got decimated in the process. I am really, really surprised on how it went down, but we're gonna look at the highlights right here, everyone. Let's see what happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So coming down into the highlights, I mean, initially they were having a battle of that brawl, trying to remove those shadow shields, but the damage was sufficient enough for H2K. Even the Force Shielders got a huge hit of down to half HP. They were able to target Decidido to really just remove that heals, remove that capability, and then they switch their targets onto the Dark Mage as well. And as we were talking about this game a while ago and doing, coming down into the composition, H2K really just have two targets initially at the start of that matchup. It will be the Force Archer, it will be the Dark Mage. After they remove these two, it is already a done deal. It is already going to be so amazing for them, as they have removed these two members that has heal, has damage, and they got the numbers advantage.
I was really surprised on what happened. I mean, after the Shadow Shield got taken out of the equation for the side of Insta Place right here. So, I mean, I thought that the Force Shielder can survive, at least for a very long time, but that didn't happen for the side of Ulti Plays. So, I am really, really looking at, H2K right here. How powerful are these guys are? In order for you to deal that much damage to a Force Shielder right after taking out the Shadow Shield in the process. As you can see, their Force Archer suddenly just knelt down and then just respond immediately, trying to pretty much maybe catch his teammates to cast massive heal. But again, the damage is just too overwhelming, or maybe it's just too powerful that the healing is not enough in order for him to sustain his teammates.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's also like one of the things to consider, right? When you have like a Force Archer in your composition, I mean, it's really strong in terms of damage as well. But once you really focus on just going for the heals, just trying to dodge and fade, going in for those sustains, you're going to lack in terms of that damage aspect if you're going to keep on focusing on that sustain aspect of the composition. And now, another thing to really look at as well and to consider is that Force Archer's advantage really is in that prolonged matchup, is in that prolonged stay of the game. So when you're dealing on that first couple of minutes of the matchup, it's really just on all in for both sides.
Right. But as you can see, we have here Barriesto, who's not yet healed up. So I think we have to wait for his HP to be in, full. There you go. So, Kesalek Nenen. So that's Kesalek Nenen for the side of H2K. But there you go, Barriesto trying to really, really target the Force Archer and pretty much the Dark Mage right here. As you can see, Decidido Muhabal is about to go down, casting that heal. But it will be able to sustain himself. But Raphael and Mab right here will be taken out. Mab will go down in the very first, clash right here, and he's gonna be respawning. I don't think so. Yeah, he will respawn. Balayong is also in the process of being taken out right here, getting so much damage, even though the Shadow Heal is in place. So what's gonna happen here? Balayong, will he go down? Yes, he goes down. So who's gonna go down next? That's gonna be the question that's being asked here by everyone. Luna will go down next. And of course, Decidido Muhabal is also gonna go down. Kill count 3 coming in from the side of H2K. Wow, 3-0. What is Ulti Plays gonna do in order for them to at least score 1 kill for this from the side of H2K right here? Decidido Muhabal, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be the game. It's gonna be H2K winning this game right here, everyone.
Yeah, a fantastic showing once more. They really, really just showcased their strength coming into the second game, and even the first one, very swift as well. Back-to-back games, and so far they have clean swept the series away 2-0 in their favor. And with that said and done, H2K will proceed in the semifinals.
Yep. I mean, man, they Ulti Plays just got decimated, man. They tried their very best, but they just really know their priorities. But I was really surprised, but they ignored. I think they ignored. Uh, Decidido Muhabal, the Force Archer, a while ago, and they decided to go after the Force Shielder and pretty much the Dark Mage. Um, I was really, really surprised that they were able to lower down the HP of that, of course, Shielder really, really quick. I think he was not able to pop Shadow Shield immediately. That's what happened, and the Shadow Shield that went online like a few seconds after he respawned into health.
Yeah, for sure. So I think it's really just how their opponent really was just able to focus in onto the key targets here. Ulti Plays, having those Force Archers, having the Dark Mage, and then the Shadow Shield being negated very, very easily and very swiftly as well was one of the key perspectives that really won H2K and won that series overall for the quarterfinals.
But let's look at the highlights. Let's see what really happened. So here we go, everyone. So as you can see, there you go. Mab right here, the warrior and the Force Shielder is being decimated. There you go. Mab went down first, and then Raphael was able to sustain himself in the process. Balayong got taken out second in this game right here, and then pretty much everything just fell right into place. Decidido Muhabal, Raphael went, going down. One after one after another. So yeah, that's gonna be a very huge win coming in from the side of H2K.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll see what the following games will look like, because I'm really, really excited. I'm really, really interested. But also what's exciting here, Anduin, I've heard from coming in from the back end that we're almost there on a milestone coming through for day number 3 here in the quarterfinals for Cygnus server.
So we're going to be showing you the codes right here, everyone. So take a look at this one. Okay.
We're almost there. We're almost there here, Anduin. We're
almost there.
Going to reach,
almost there.
Coming down
Okay.
into those milestones. But for now, once again, thank you very much to Fantech and VIU for making this tournament possible and being the sponsors of Infinite War of Celestial Sea.
Yeah, if you're again looking for a streaming application that you can actually use it to watch your Korean dramas, animes, and lots of movies, a series, whatever is the genre. So you can actually download VIU, because again, VIU will be giving away 5 premium subscription that will last for a year at the end of this tournament.
Yeah, and for Fantech, if you guys are looking for gaming peripherals, keyboards, mices, gaming chairs, Fantech will be the best one for you. So go and get some, because as well, on top of that, Fantech is going to give away 5 gaming headsets at the end of the tournament. So a lot in store for the viewers watching at home and for our Cabalistas out there.
Not just 1, but 5. Imagine that, everyone. But of course, again, since our game number 2 is done and dusted, okay, we're going to go on a very short break, everyone. So don't go anywhere, because the Infinite War of Celestial Sea, the Infinite Battle, will be back right after this break.
Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.
I love you.
Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.
Hey, what is up, everyone? Once again, we are back in the Infinite War of Celestial Sea, the Infinite Battle. Again, this is Anwin together with Infinity, and we are gonna go down to game number 3 for tonight.
Yeah, it's game number 3 already. It's very fast as well, very unexpected for these two matches that we had so far. So now for this third series for the day, we have Wakaboo and we have Mayhem. And from what we have seen back in Tuesday, Wakaboo, this coordination coming from this team is spot on, but Mayhem as well were able to provide quite swift or at least a showcase of their power back in Tuesday. So this time around, coming down into the quarterfinal series number 3, I'm expecting a lot from Wakaboo, but I'm expecting the same thing coming from Mayhem as well to give us a show.
But as you can see right here, Infinity, we have no force shielder to provide the shadow shield. So pretty much they're gonna rely on their healing capability right here, which is pretty much gonna come from the Force Archer and Wizard as well. And of course the debuff coming in from the Dark Mage, and we have here's the Force Blader as well to pretty much freeze the mana of the class of his choice. Pretty much the negation coming in from Blader with the Curse Dodge in order for him not to be affected with some of the debuff coming in from the Force Blader from each opposing team right here. But if you're gonna ask me, there's they're gonna target pretty much every single Force Archer in each group right here.
For sure. And now, speaking of the groups, we have two coming down into the third series for the day. For the side of Mayhem, it will be G Crush, it will be IC Dead Bodies. You have the Force Archer as well. You have No Name, and you have IC Plays.
And of course, for the side of Angry Mango or Team Wakaboo, we have Z Lady Ann, Astrea, Mikey, LME, and of course Dan Laurent. Wow, Laurent, it sounds French. Anyway, we're
It surely is French.
It sounds French, right? Okay, but we're gonna go down right here, everyone. We're gonna go straight in the action. So they're gonna be buffing each one. Morale shout coming in from the Warriors. There you go, the buff coming in from the Force Archer. My G Crush is trying to target Z Lady Ann. Z Lady Ann, will she be able to survive? But I see dead bodies. Really did see some dead bodies because he's the first body that got taken out in the game right here. No Name as well got taken out in the process. That's 2 kills coming in from the side of Wakaboo right here. It's really swift, really fast. Z Lady Ann right here is surviving. I will survive. She's singing. And of course, SNC right here, the Force Archer, is trying his best to survive as well. But he will be taken out in the process. IC Place has also gotten out, dusted right here. That's going to be the game, I guess.
Yeah. It was good targeting coming from Mayhem, actually. I gotta tip my hats off to them. Their first target would be Z Lady, and however, they left some of their members open as well for Wakaboo to be able to shut them down that quickly at the same time. So even then, when the game started, it was a 2-for-1 kill count for either end in favor of Wakaboo. And overall, raw strength once more being showcased by Wakaboo and their coordination being spot on here in this series.
And what happened a while ago, I really tried my I really tried seeing it in a very different perspective. I thought that Team Mayhem would actually be able to take out Z Lady Ann in the process, but they were unable to do so. And just like what you said, Infinity, it opened some of their teammates to relentless assault coming in from Team Wakaboo. So I am just a really maybe the heal is not that it's not enough to sustain the HP of the team members of team team what do you call this, Mayhem. But we will see, because we are about to show you the highlights of the game right here.
Yeah, coming down from game number 1 here. Mayhem up against Team Wakaboo. And as you have mentioned a while ago, right? I See Dead Bodies was the first one to be the target. And then Z Lady Anne was being pincered across the board here, but No Name was shut down. G Crush fell through as well alongside with Ulti Plays. So it's one by one, a dominating effect coming in from Mayhem from game one. And Wakaboo, the thing is, they only lost Z Lady Anne all throughout that fight.
Mm-hmm. But even without Z Lady Anne, I guess it's gonna be there's still gonna be a force not to be messed up with. I mean, you know, the way they dominated the field, the way they dealt damage to I See Dead Bodies, that was no joke. I mean, in the blink of an eye, suddenly I See Dead Bodies went down. And pretty much same thing happened to the rest of the members of Team Mayhem. So I don't know what's gonna happen to game number 2. Will it be the same thing, or will Team Mayhem be able to formulate a new strategy right here and right now in order for them to turn the tides in their favor?
Yeah, for sure, right? This will be a very difficult journey for them to be able to make it back coming down into this game, especially considering how potent the strength is coming from Wakaboo was from that matchup alone. But of course, there are still a couple of those opportunities to come. If ever they're able to beat Force Arch or well, Z Lady Anne specifically that quickly or faster than Mayhem losing a couple of their members, I See Dead specifically.
Oh, okay. Coming in from the back end team, I think Mayhem don't want to get punished anymore. They don't want to put themselves through that, through that, what do you call this, game anymore. They don't want to experience the pain anymore. So I think they backed out. So I guess we have our winner for our game, number 3, and that is Wakaboo.
With that said and done, congratulations to Team Wakaboo for winning the quarterfinals. What a fantastic showing them. One game is all it takes.
Wow. Seriously, I mean, it's going to be really difficult to, digest that one because it is really, really astonishing to see a Force Archer being pincered and still was able to escape that predicament. And, being chased down by so much character, it puts a pressure on you as much as you want to dash in, fade out, or fade in, or just go on dashing around the arena. Sometimes you get to press the wrong button, especially if there's a lot at stake in this tournament right here of the Infinite War of Celestial Sea. Oh my god, I have to give props to Z Lady Anne for for actually keeping a very composed mindset right here.
Yeah, and surely coming down into one more game later on, but currently we're just gonna take a short break, and when we come back, it's the final game for the quarterfinals.
Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.
I love you.
Ding dong, they just think they are. Never little wanna be gangster trying to play hard.
Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.
Hey guys, what is up? Once again, welcome back to the Infinite War of Celestial Sea, the Infinite Battle. And of course, before I introduce myself, I just want to say thank you so much for the undying love and support for this game right here. Once again, my name is Andwin, together with Infinity. And since you guys have provided us with so much support, I will be giving you guys our first code right here. Ta-da! There you go.
Wow, that's magic. But yeah, here's the first code for the day. It's G7P2M8V1.
Alright, so what are you waiting for, everyone? Make sure that you log on to your game, access it through your phone, or maybe if you're playing it on PC as well, then you can go ahead and do so. Just claim it right here so you can get handsomely rewarded, because you guys have been awesome, and we just want to give back to the community as well, because you guys are the ones who's making this event possible. And of course, it's not just the viewers, but of course our sponsors as well. So pretty much a big shout out to our sponsors, Fantech and VIU.
Yeah, amazing partners, amazing sponsors coming down into the very first tournament of Cabal Infinite Combo. So thank you very much, Fantech and VIU, for making things possible. But once again, Anduin, we're down into the last series for the day. We're down into the final match for the quarterfinals here in Cygnus server. So exciting stuff here. This will dictate on who will proceed into the semis to battle up against Wakaboo, and then eventually who has that possibility on stepping foot into the grand finals.
If you guys have your bets on, if you guys are betting on one of these teams right here, now's the best time to actually place your bets and pretty much trust in these players that they can actually get the job done. Okay, but we are now going to our last match, okay, for the evening. It's going to be Rules Breaker against VN Legends. VN Legends, by the way, they are a very awesome team as well. They actually showed lots of potential in the tournament, and when I saw them in action, they swiftly decimated their opponent and pretty much ended up as the winner in our qualifiers, like I think last Tuesday.
Yeah, for sure. And I think last Tuesday, last Monday, we already saw kind of like an Eagles perspective on who are the teams that we can expect moving forward, who are the teams that really has that capability of shutting down a lot of these teams, considering that from when we started, it was 30 teams that registered, and now we're down into the last 5, including this series here in the quarterfinals. So once this is all done, once the quarterfinals concludes, we're down into the 4 best teams remaining.
And of course, again, this is like the battle of the best in terms of playing the game Cabal for the Cygnus server. So I think you've noticed how powerful some of the teams are in this tournament right here. So you will have an idea who are pretty much really focused into leveling up and pretty much increasing their combat powers in the Cygnus server. And of course, tonight we're gonna end up looking at our last team, and I can definitely see lots of compositions right here. Winning the unexpected or doing something unexpected while competing in this tournament right here. Just like for example, even though you don't have a force shielder, if you have a very powerful damage coming in that can pretty much slice through your enemy like butter, then I don't think you really do need the shadow shield if you can get the job done in a snap of your finger.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you have a lot of strength coming in from your equipments, coming in from your characters, you definitely have that capability of shutting these teams down, shutting down your opponents quite quickly as well, similar to what we have seen in the prior three series, if you may, coming down in the first one. No Bitter Please, very fast, and then you had H2K as well, showing their opponents who is boss. But this time around, it will be the final series coming down into the quarterfinals. It's Rules Breaker up against VN Legends.
hmm As you can see, guys, in terms of their team composition, they have both the Force Shielder, but for the side of Rule Breaker, they don't have the Force Archer. Wow. So what's gonna happen here? Are they gonna go for a very beefy strategy right here? Because Warrior can pretty much increase the HP of the party, as well as increasing the damage being absorbed by the party, provided by the Shadow Shield of the Force Shielder. But then again, in terms of survivability, I'm gonna go right ahead and say that VN Legends has the edge because they have that massive healing coming in from the Force Archer, and of course the Shadow Shield coming in from the Force Shielder.
Yeah, for sure. Right. The sustainability, defensive capability, these are very strong aspects. But of course, damage would also be needed. But overall, here, coming down into game number one for the last series for the day, for the quarterfinals, for Rules Breaker, it will be the Snitch, it will be Xmark. You have Daddy Long here, Cup of Sabao, and Set by Mar03.
And of course, for the side of VN Legends, we have Conifer, IRYL, Hypel, Thor, and Shiny. Shiny indeed. And there you go. So we are going to witness this. This is the Eagles view that we are talking about, everyone. So we are going to start the game right here, everyone. There you go. I think there's battle mode being committed right here. The Blader who just went on and go ahead and executed battle mode too. There you go. The Snitch just got taken out. Same goes with the Cup of Sabao. What's gonna happen here? I think the Shadow Shield didn't do so much. Daddy Long Hair is also gone in the process. They are being decimated right here by VN Legends. Black Stallion right here, or the Blader, is also gonna be taken out in the process. Axmark is also down, and I think it's gonna be the game number one for this. Okay, right here, the Snitch. The Snitch is still trying to survive. It's the remaining player of Rules Breaker right here. The Snitch is just trying his very best, but then again, he's gonna end up being a punching bag for the side of VN Legends right here.
It was fast, it was quick. VN Legends did it again. I mean, in the prior game that they fought up against 777, they did the same thing. They were just jumping on the opponent's side, jumping on the opponent's corner, and when that came through, the damage was sufficient enough, especially coming down into the likes of the Force Gunners from VN Legends. The damage was insane, and then the rest of the crew as well was able to deal the same amount of damage and chaos up against their opponents. Conifer, Hypey, and the likes. These are some strong powerhouse that we're talking about under the VN Legends banner.
I am really amazed again by I was like taken aback by the performance of VN Legend. I thought there's gonna be a difference between the matchup right here, but again, we're gonna see the highlights. There you go, everyone. If you want to see what happened, because it happened in the blink of an eye. So here it is. So I think what happened right here is a Cup of Sabao got taken out first. Then Snitch went on ahead and followed him. Daddy Long Hair as well just got taken out. After being revived right here, they went on ahead and focused on Axmark and the Blader. But it's really difficult because even though you're a Blader, there you go, you're gonna be taken out if everyone's gonna FF you in the arena right here. And then again, after that, a couple of Sabao didn't respond anymore, and leaving the Snitch all alone in the arena here in Lakeside.
In summary, they got decimated at the first few seconds of game number one. That's pretty much the storyline there. VN Legends just straight out of the gate went into the opponent's side and just went in for hand-to-hand combat up against their opponents, and they couldn't do nothing. It was just a really, really strong team, a really, really strong characters overall from VN Legends. And despite, having a force shielder and having those shadow shields, it was just not enough.
I mean, wow. It's like what we said before, Infinity. Don't blink or you just might miss it.
Oh yeah, for sure. That was pretty much the storyline and definition of what happened there in game number one, and I can expect nothing less coming down into game number two there from VN Legends. With this kind of strength, they could definitely just push this out of the gate and 2-0 sweep their opponents here in Cygnus server.
So I don't know what's gonna happen in the second series right here, but I hope, and I pray that their opponent can actually do something to turn this around. Okay, I don't know how Rules Breaker is gonna recover from this, but I do hope that they can really, really pop a miracle right here, do a comeback and force a game number 3 in this matchup right here.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, if that happened, it will be quite a scene to behold. It will be fascinating to watch as well if Game 3 was pushed to the lines here for this series into the quarterfinals. And remember, we were talking about this a while ago, that this is the last 8 teams that remain, or well, at least 5 teams that remain, including the prior series that has just concluded. So it's really up to Rules Breaker here to break the rule, or well, rather not break the rules literally, but break the tides to come into their favor and maybe push this to the border of 3 games.
And if you're gonna ask me, I mean, VN Legends also had their eyes set on their target priority, which is in the case of Rules Breaker. If you're gonna ask me, I'm gonna go after the Force Blader and pretty much a Force Blader or the Blader itself, because there are nimble targets compared to Force Shielder and Warrior. So I'm gonna go after these character first, and I think they were successful in doing so. That's why pretty much everything just went into chaos after the game started. Someone just got taken out as swift as possible, as swift as they could. But then again, we are still hoping, and I hope that they can really find their momentum as well and turn the tides into their favor as well for the side of Team Rules Breaker.
Yeah, for sure. So maybe they could do something. Maybe they can make that miracle happen here into the following game, because the thing is, like, VN Legends at this point in time, VN Legends at this stage is already sitting at match point. One more win, they could take the show down for themselves and definitely proceed into the semifinals, wherein currently it is already Wakaboo that is waiting in the semis.
And of course, there you go. So we are going on to game number 2. And of course, we have here, again, pretty much a similar team comp, but I'm really, looking at this one. So let me correct myself a while ago. I think I said that they will be focusing more on the Blader and the Force Blader in Rules Breaker in terms of VN Legend. But I think the first player that got taken out in the process a while ago is Daddy Long Hair, which is the Warrior itself. So, wow, I mean, a Warrior is also a beefy character, but if you will be able to take that character in just a very swift moment, that means you have a very, very powerful character in your team, or maybe the CP is the gap of their CP is really, really huge, man.
Yeah. It is, and I think the combat power really just speaks a lot of volume in the stages of the tournament, especially coming down into the semifinals, which is really important overall for these teams to have such sufficient combat power to match up against the likes of uh, decimators here in this tournament, like VN Legends.
Hmm. But as you can see, I'm not sure how is this gonna play out. But again, the Blader is always using the grappler mode in this matchup right here. He's doing battle mode too, pretty much just to immediately close the distance and do some knockdown damage to whoever is his target on the side of VN Legends. But I
Mhm.
think the characters or the players from VN Legends, their equipment is just insane, and this combat power is once again, like what I said, maybe the gap is really that high in order for them not to receive enormous damage. Not to mention, there is a force archer that sustains everyone or every single party members of VN Legends.
Yeah, it is. It is. So now for the side of VN Legends, I think the thing is like their strength is unmatched, is unfazed. So we'll see if they can replicate what they did in game one.
Okay, there you go. As you can see here, we're gonna have some match right here, some fight right here, and of course, I think the Shadow Shield has just been committed. Everyone, I think they're gonna last longer this time around. It's not gonna be a walk in the park for the side of VN Legends, but Cup of Sabao is low on health, and there you go. He's just a bit in the dust. Same goes for the Blader and the Snitch. Axe Mark is gonna go next. Daddy Longhair will also go next. Who's gonna be left standing? I think it's gonna be the Snitch. Snitch right here. I think using the Art of Defense. Okay, yes, Art of Defense. You will not take any damage at all, but you will be immobilized here. You're gonna be a standing. Oh, okay, standing punching bag, but then again, they just punch through this shielder right here. And again, our winner for the last series of our tournament tonight is none other than VN Legends.
What a fantastic showing coming from VN Legends. From the quarterfinals, every single game that they went through was fast and was very quick. And that is an understatement. They went through battle against Tribusugbo, 777 right after, and now Rules Breaker. And every single time, they did it at a blink of an eye.
Wow, this is really concerning me, Infinity, because we have Wakaboo, we have No Bitter Please, we have H2K, and we have our last contender, VN Legends. So, I mean, I can't really imagine who's gonna win this one anymore, because they are very good teams. And of course, since you guys supported us all throughout the tournament, and of course the teams right here, you've shown them your support. Here's the next code right here.
Yeah, it's a reward waiting for the viewers watching at home. There it's T4Z1 K7Y9. So those are for the Cabalistas watching out there at home right now for Infinite War of Celestial Sea.
Yep. Make sure that you log into your game and you pretty much try to save up this code right here, because right after this, you have to at least scroll through the live stream in order for you to just see it. So make sure that you ask your friends or you distribute the codes to your friends if they're not watching this. And of course, if they're not watching this, since we have some codes to give away, make sure that you invite them next time to join and watch this awesome tournament that's happening in the Cygnus server. So I really can't determine who's going to be the winner of this tournament in the Cygnus server, Infinity.
It's difficult. It's difficult considering how many teams are really strong powerhouses across the board. You have the likes of Wakaboo, VN Legends, as we saw just now, and then you also have the likes of No Bitter Please and H2K.
And of course, if you missed out on all the action that happened a while ago, here is the highlight for you. Okay, there you go, guys. I think I was really looking forward to Rules Breaker sustaining or pretty much enduring more punishment coming in from VN Legends. But as soon as the Shadow Shield worn out, wow, it was a complete downhill from this team right here. So it got really easy for VN Legends to take out every single team member of Rules Breaker one by one, leaving only the Force Shielder standing in the middle of Lakeside Arena right here after using Art of Defense, since he's immobile, or he will be immobilized after using this particular skill. It's gonna be downright feet coming in from the side of VN Legends.
Yeah, for sure. And now speaking of Cygnus server, speaking of this tournament, we have mentioned the 4 teams that remain here in the semifinals, the strongest teams of the bunch of the 30 teams that were able to play it out at the start. It will be No Bitter Please and H2K in the semifinals, and Wakaboo up against VN Legends in the semis as well. We're in these 2 groups. These 2 matches will dictate who will proceed into the grand finals and who will have that chance to take the throne for themselves here in Cygnus server.
Wow. So it's been one crazy evening. We've seen lots of battles, lots of bodies falling into the ground. But that's how history is made. That's how rivalries are made. From now on, they will consider themselves as rivals, and pretty much they're gonna gun and aim for the top and try to take the throne for themselves. So I am really hyped and pumped up in this tournament right here. So once again, I just want to say thank you to all the viewers who's watching this tournament right here, the Infinite War of Celestial Sea, the Infinite Battle. And of course, we would like to say thank you to our sponsors, Fantech and VIU. So without further ado, guys, I think we are done for you this evening. So thank you so much for your patience and your time, and for your at least giving us some of your time. This is Andwin and of course Infinity saying goodnight, and we'll see you again on our next live stream.
Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.